this morning I took a little while, maybe 20 minutes, to sit down and figure out all of the different patterns I have in my stash for you guys. I pulled out Pattern Keeper, figured out the stitch count and stuff. As you can see, my kids are going back and forth and doing their own thing. So yeah, with that list of stuff, let's get right into the video.
Hey stitchy friends, this is Rachel with Mainly Cross Stitch. You can find me on Instagram at mainly_cross-stitch and on my website at mainlycrossstitch.com. Today is March 30th, 2025. I figured I'd come back and show you guys the patterns that I have in my stash. So the digital patterns that I've purchased but haven't started. I don't have any paper patterns or kits or anything that I haven't started because I really prefer digital. So I use Pattern Keeper and FantaStitch for just the one Mareka pattern that I have. So without further ado, Bo really wants to go outside, so I'm gonna do a little bit of this video and then I'm gonna take him out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the patterns that I have in my collection. First, I wanted to mention all the different HAEDs that I have. I mentioned in my last video that I'd love to do a HAED, but they're really big and I struggle with sticking to and completing things. I also struggle with rotations. Making the rotation is fun. I don't know if you're like me, but making lists, making rotations is super fun, and I'm super motivated until it gets down to actually ticking off those boxes. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So that's difficult for me, but I do have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 HAEDs. The first one, and I'll pop pictures up on the screen here and tell you what the stitch count is. I'm not going to go through and, I know, give me a minute. I'm not going to go through and list off how many colors there are because you could just go to their website and see that if you're interested. So the first one is Mini, the Breakers, and it has 63,375 stitches. That one's definitely more manageable for me. However, as you can see in the mock-up, it's not as nice as the full size. So when I bought that, I didn't realize there was a big difference between the minis and the full sizes, you know, quality wise. I've seen people stitch minis and they came out good, but I don't know if I would be happy with the finish. So that's just sitting in my pattern stash. I don't know if I'll do it, but it's there. The second one is the Mountain Cabin. You guys have probably seen this everywhere. Everybody's stitching this one. This has 375,550 stitches. So that's a really big one. I haven't even attempted something that big before. And something that big would need to be done in small count, probably 25 or 28. I wouldn't be opposed to doing tent stitch. I'm doing tent stitch on the Winter Landscape by Luca S. And I like it. It's just difficult to manage all the threads. So that's that one. Third HAED I have is Tuscan Red, which is gorgeous. And it has 229,350 stitches. So a little bit more manageable, but still very, very large. Next one is, and I really love this one. This one is Childhood Sweethearts. This one has 305,000 stitches. So another big one, but I think it's adorable. I would love to have that one hanging up on my wall someday. So maybe I'll start that one at some point. Have that be my one HAED that I start. The last two HAEDs I have are Secret Cove, and this one is in max colors. I looked at the difference between the regular and the max colors, and the max colors just looked so much better in the water area. But again, that would be so many colors. I think HAED max colors are up to like 300 colors. So that's a struggle in and of itself, managing all those different thread colors. Finally, my last HAED is Beachcombers. And you've definitely seen this one everywhere. This is a really popular HAED as well. That one has 326,025 stitches. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Secret Cove Max Colors has 273,125 stitches. So yeah, big ones, definitely more than 100,000. I'd love to do one day. I'll get there. It's just finding the gumption to tackle something that big. Alright, I'm gonna pause and let Mr. Puppy out. You wanna say hi? Come here. Oh, he say hi, and then I'll take him out to go potty. He's like, Mommy, I don't want to say hi. I want to go potty. I'll be right back. Okay, on to the next one. This is Evolutions Cafe by XStitch. I bought this one intending to stitch it for someone in my family who liked Pokemon and Evolutions, but I never got around to it. I was busy doing other patterns at the time, and it kind of just slept in my pattern stash. It's still there waiting for me. It's only 15,162 stitches, so it's not a big one. It wouldn't take me that long, but I just haven't started it yet. Next one. This is one of those patterns that I bought before I realized that people were ripping off dimensions. And I didn't know all the dimensions kits off the top of my head, so I thought, wow, this is beautiful. And there's actually another one. They go together. I actually realized later on that this is the one I started when I was a preteen. So there's the big one, and that's the one that I had when I was a kid. And then this little one goes with it. Those are both Dimensions kits. I think they're both gold kits. One of them is called Winter Wonderland, and the other one is called Creekside Deer, I believe. Yeah, Creekside Deer. The small one has 35,092 stitches. The big one has 49,139 stitches. So they're relatively large. I don't know if I would kit those now, knowing that they're Dimensions kits. But I do have the patterns. If you have the kit for any of these Dimensions like patterns that I have, and you want to stitch it digitally, I will gladly send you the PDF for free, because these people stole from Dimensions, and I'm not above giving you the pattern for free as long as you prove that you have the kit and you don't send it to anyone else. So DM me if you want any of these. Next up, we have another Dimensions kit. This one's called Rocky Point. Self-explanatory. That is, I think that one might be a gold collection too. That one has 60,588 stitches, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to stitch that one someday if I can get my hands on the kit. I would prefer to support Dimensions that way, but if it's out of print, out of stock, what are you gonna do? So yeah, next one, Humboldt Coast, I think is how you say that. It's by Silver Lining. It has 33,480 stitches. So pretty manageable size for me. There's a lot of actually negative space in that one, where you use like a sky colored fabric. I can't remember what the call for fabric is, but it's like a tealy gray mid-tone, and it's really pretty. Next up, a modern folk embroidery. This one is called The Deer and the Field of Stars. And my intention eventually for this one is to make placemats, like heirloom placemats. Maybe 6 or 8 of them. Knowing me though, I don't know if I could stick with a project like that, doing the same thing 6 to 8 times. But I have it, That is a pattern that I have. That has 18,075 stitches per. So that's a lot of stitching to do for 6 to 8. How much would that be? Let me calculate it. I don't mental math, so don't judge me. You probably already know the answer. 18,000 times, let's say 8. That'd be 144,000 roughly. That's a lot of stitches. That's like almost a small HAED. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Next, Valar Dohaeris from Game of Thrones. This is by Country Magic Stitch. I've mentioned their patterns here several times. I bought this one just to have in my stash to do for a present for someone, maybe one day. This one has 23,168 stitches. So, not too big. Next, I have some other Country Magic Stitch patterns. I have Welcome to Tatooine. That one has 22,528 stitches. I also have Visit Lothlorien, which you've probably seen lots of people do these posters from her. Or him, them, I don't know. I haven't looked. So, I really like Country Magic Stitch designs. I did the TARDIS that they made for my friend Justin. I mentioned that in my last video, and I've already started another one of theirs for him. But those are the ones I have from Country Magic Stitch. All of the like visit or travel by posters are all in the 22,000 stitch range, so they're full coverage and they'll take you some time, but they're not HAED size. They're like 2-3 month stitches if you solely work on that. All right, next. This is Christmas Sampler by Happy Mood Point on Etsy. I looked in the PDF for the copyright, and that's what it said, Happy Mood Point. So if you search for that on Etsy and can't find it, I'm sorry. There are 28,230 stitches in this one, and this may be my Christmas start, maybe in October, November, like after Halloween. I don't know. Maybe. I really like it. I'm in a big sampler phase right now. I'm a big fan of samplers. And Bo is just here getting all the attention. He's a good boy. You want to say hi again? Now that you don't have to pee? He's a good boy. He's a handsome boy. Ow, don't scratch me. Oh my gosh, we need to trim his guys' nails. He's just a kissy boy. Alright, all done. All done. All done. Una, you want to say hi? Una. Una's gonna say hi too, and maybe scratch me again. Oh, she's so fluffy. Ow. Kiss, kiss. The Lord of the Rings Sampler by Lina Ova. I have her linked on my website page. This one has 34,506 stitches. So a good medium-sized one. Next, Fall Sampler by Irina Zagorodskaya. If I'm butchering your name, I'm really, really sorry. And you can please let me know in the comments how to pronounce it. This one's adorable and actually fairly bite-sized. It's only 12,211 stitches. And it has like back stitch and stuff. And it's really cute. I'm a big fan of the squirrel. Squirrels? I can't remember if there's more than one. But like the squirrels and the mushrooms. I may start this one in the fall. We'll see. Next, by the same designer. This is her main pattern. It's like a silhouette, you can see here, with some really beautiful colors. Actually, I have the colors right here. This is the Fall Sampler. I'll show you that too. This one I think is the main. These are all actually CXC threads that I ordered from Naughty with a K. Naughty Unicorn Crafts, like tie knot. So these were the ones that I didn't have in my DMC stash. These are some of the colors for the fall sample I just showed you. So, lots of pretty colors. Actually, I'll just go through and show you all these. These are some of the colors for the Tatooine one by Country Magic Stitch. Which, you know, deserty vibes. That one I haven't showed you yet. This one, oh, Visit Lothlorien. Some blues, blue grays. This isn't all the colors because these are just the ones I was missing from stash. Anyway, back to the list. Next one, Set of Snowmen by Climbing Goat Designs. If you watched my first video, you will know that I did a gathering of snowmen, which I'll also put here. For my mother-in-law, she loves snowmen. So my plan is to do the smaller one for her for Christmas this year. That small one only has 1,929 stitches, so it's a little one. It won't take me that long. But I'm gonna do it on tea-dyed Ada again, like I did the other one, so they match. Next we have the Extraordinary Birds Sal, which I will be starting with everyone as long as I get my fabric from Million of Stitches in time to dye it. I should. We'll see what happens. I showed you this one in one of my last videos and told you I'd be starting this, but officially it's technically in my pattern stash, so I figured I would show it here. We don't know how many stitches is in that one, so I can't tell you or show you a full picture, but you know how that is. Next, I bought a smorgasbord of itty bitty like motif stitches. I think these are from a series from a while ago. They're like one-nighter stitches, and I will pop them up on the screen here in order. So I have the 63 butterfly cross stitch pattern book. I have the fruit cross stitch pattern book. I have the vegetable cross stitch pattern book, the 59 chicken cross stitch pattern book, and the flower cross stitch pattern book. I'm fairly certain these are all by the same people. I bought these thinking that I would just have them in stash for if I wanted to do a cute little motif on like a dress for one of the kiddos or on some kitchen towels or something, and use like water soluble Ada. I did actually, I'll see if I can dredge up a picture from the confines of my mess of a OneDrive to show you the little flower that I stitched on a dress for my oldest daughter. My youngest is now old enough and big enough to wear it now, but it's quite stained. This cross stitching has held up really well though, so that was a fun stitch. It took me probably 2 nights. But having those in your stash is nice because you can just like, I want to break from literally everything, and you can stitch something and give it to someone. Like you could pick up a, I don't know, like a sweater from the store, like one of those pullover sports type of sweaters, and just stitch something on it and be like, here, have a gift. It's nice to have. So that's those. I have several of those. Next up, I have 2 patterns by Fruhling Designs that I purchased a little less than a year ago. I actually started one of these on a 25 count Lugana 1/1, and I hated it. Not the pattern. I hated stitching 25 count 1/1. I should have known better because I started the dragon stitch along on 28 count 1/1, but I decided I was going to do it anyway. That's actually when my ulnar nerve issue really started to show up, was when I was trying to stitch that tiny count with the floor stand and scroll frame. So I don't know if I may be able to do 25 count 1/1 just fine with the proper setup, but I don't have it yet. So I have Colorful Houses of Finland and the Colored Houses of Iceland. I have both of these. I really like his designs. They're very colorful. They're all very confetti heavy, but not to the point where you can't stitch it. I showed you guys the unicorn that I did from him. I think he might use AI in the making of his images. I can't say for certain, so don't quote me on that. So if you're opposed to that, maybe just don't use that shop. But a lot of his images are super cute and very colorful, very fun to stitch. So that's Fruhling Designs, the two that I have that I haven't stitched. Next, I have just this random 20 unique backstitch alphabets pattern, just in case I need to do some backstitch alphabets. And then finally, another Dimensions kit ripoff. This one's called Winter Retreat. My mom actually did this Dimensions kit. Yeah, I don't think I would be doing that one because my mom did it, and she's gonna frame it and hang it up in her house, and it'll be very pretty. Yeah, that's the last pattern in my stash. I'm always eyeing things what I shouldn't be. But that's how it goes, you know. So again, if any of these Dimensions kit rip-off patterns you have the kit for and you want to stitch it digitally, please let me know. Send me a picture of your kit so I can, you know, verify that you're not just taking the pattern to sell it and be that guy. You can DM me on Instagram at mainly_cross-stitch, or you can go to my website and leave me a contact form or a comment or something. So that's all I got for you today. If you liked this video, do the thing with the like and the subscribe and share maybe with your stitchy friends. I appreciate the watch. I know you guys have lots of cross-stitch people you could be watching, so thank you for coming to spend your time with me. Bye!